One of the things that many U.S. Americans are really proud of is that they have the world's oldest running democracy. This year, the United States is 240 years old as a country. What this means in practical terms, however, is that democracy as a system of governance is still in its infancy. If you look at the previous millennia of human history, you'll see that there have been systems that were not so friendly to the average citizen. That would include monarchies, ruled by kings and queens, and dictatorships, ruled by one tough person who simply jailed or killed anyone who disagreed. As an infant form of government, then, we're still struggling to get all the details right, and it's a work in progress. One thing that is different about the U.S. government is how we elect our leaders. Our president and vice president, for example, are elected directly by the voters. Other countries around the world, like our northern neighbors in Canada, have parliamentary systems and choose representatives from their favorite political party who then select a prime minister from within that party. This gives people a chance to vote their conscience for the party that most closely represents their point of view. It may be that no party receives more than 50% of the vote, so several parties will hold discussions to see which of them can band together and govern as a team above the 50% mark. In the U.S., there are two main political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. And for over a century, the president has been a member of one of those two parties. There are smaller parties like the Libertarian, the Green, the Socialist, or the Taxpayer parties, but they only occasionally get a significant percentage of the vote. This means American voters usually have to choose one presidential candidate from the two main choices. In some years, like 2016, both candidates are unpopular and voters feel like they have to choose the lesser of two evils. Now, when I said that voters elect the president directly, that was only partially true. What will happen in early November is that millions of people will cast their votes, but the winner is not determined by the grand total of the national votes. Instead, the decision will be made state by state. For example, if the candidate wins a majority of the votes in Michigan, he or she wins all of Michigan's 16 electoral votes. Michigan has 14 national representatives and 2 senators, for a total of 16 people, representing this state in Washington, D.C. California is the largest state and has 55 electoral votes, 2 senators and 53 representatives. 7 of the smallest states have only 3 electoral votes, 2 senators and 1 representative. This means it's really more important to win the majority of the vote in the large states because they carry more electoral weight. Here's the map showing how each state voted in the 2012 election between Mitt Romney and Barack Obama. States that voted Democratic are colored blue on the map, and states that voted Republican are colored red. Some of these central and western states have lots of land, but few people, so they appear smaller on this map compared to a normal geographical map. Currently, there are 538 electoral votes. That is because there are 435 representatives plus 100 senators, plus 3 electors allotted to Washington, D.C., which has no standing representatives or senators. If you do the math, then you will realize that to be elected president, you need 270 electoral votes, 51% of the 538. Looking at the 2012 map, Barack Obama won only 3 more states than Mitt Romney, 27 to 24, but won the state electoral votes by a large margin, 332 to 206. Obama also beat Romney in the popular vote count, 66 million to 61 million. There have been 3 times in U.S. history where candidates have won more popular votes than their opponents, but lost the presidency in the electoral vote. Most recently, in 2000, with George W. Bush. If all of this sounds confusing, don't worry. The electoral system is sometimes confusing to people who have lived here all our lives. Bottom line, just remember, whoever gets to 270 wins the race. If you have other questions about U.S. culture, contact us here for help. Talk about the impact on their personal lives because of their work with you?
Yes, the Hispanic Center is trying to help not only the language accessibility part for the community, but also the